CBC's CEO showing just how out of touch she really is. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. By now, you've heard the news that CBC is getting rid of 800 positions. 200 currently vacant positions won't be filled. 600 jobs are going to be cut over the next year. This is big news for the state broadcaster, which, due to its $1.5 billion worth of government money that it sucks up every year, hasn't had to go through the painful restructuring that everyone else in the media has. But while discussing this in a couple of different interviews, CEO Catherine Tait showed that she's really just out of touch. Let's start with an interview with one of her own people. And she's asked about whether the company is going to continue to hand out executive bonuses while telling workers, hey, you're out of a job.
It's too early to say where we are for this year. We'll be looking at that like we do all our line items in the coming months.
So there's a chance bonuses could still happen at a time when jobs are being cut?
I'm not going to comment on something that hasn't been discussed at this point, so.
Okay.
That is absolutely tone deaf. But that's par for the course for Catherine Tait, a woman who said in an interview with Paul Wells on his podcast that she got the job and found out she had the job while treating herself to a stay at the Four Seasons in Los Angeles. Yes, not exactly the kind of story you want out there while you're telling people you're laying them off, and yet it was time to come out at that same point. But Tait, in that interview with Wells, also discussed how she doesn't understand why anyone or how anyone could support defunding CBC. She obviously is disconnected from the country because an Angus Reid poll from earlier this year showed that 36% want to fully defund CBC. That's further than what Pierre Poilievre has promised, which is to leave French CBC alone and defund English television. That is far worse. That's far more dramatic. But yet more than a third of the country supports it. And only 47% said they disagreed with that idea. Catherine Tait is out of touch with the Canadian public. But she also, must not notice that 72% of conservatives feel this way. CBC has spent years, whether it's partisan political conservatives or cultural conservatives, of alienating large parts of the country. They focus on Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and the rest of the country they don't care about. That is why they're in the position they are now. The fact that the CEO is so detached from this shows that she lives in her own little bubble. Perhaps that Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal bubble, that's where she lives. And she doesn't understand that there's a whole section of the country that doesn't want what she's offering. Let me know what you think. Should we be defunding CBC? Leave a comment below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.